Hello, my dear listeners. Welcome to this English learning lecture. How do you know when to use beside and when to use besides in daily conversation? Today we are going to learn one of the most confusing but very important topics in English grammar. Many learners think that beside and besides are the same words with the same meaning. But in reality, they're different in meaning, different in usage, and they're used in different situations. If you understand this lesson clearly, your English will sound more natural, more accurate, and more fluent. Let us begin this journey step by step in a very simple and natural way so you can understand it deeply and remember it for a long time. First, we will understand the word beside. The word beside is a preposition. It means next to something or someone. It shows physical position. When one object or person is at the side of another object or person, we use the word beside. It is used when we want to describe location, position, or place. For example, if I say the book is beside the table, it means the book is next to the table. If I say she is sitting beside her mother, it means she is sitting next to her mother. So the word beside always talks about physical closeness. Now let us understand this in a deeper and more natural way. Imagine you are in a classroom. You are sitting in a chair and your friend is sitting next to you. You can say my friend is sitting beside me. This gives a clear picture of two people sitting close to each other. This is the correct use of beside. Now let us look at the meaning in a slightly wider sense. Beside is not used for ideas, reasons, or extra information. It is only used for physical placement. This is the most important rule to remember. Now let us move to examples of beside, so you can understand it better in real-life situations. First example of beside. The child is standing beside his father. This means the child is standing next to his father. It shows physical position. Second example of beside. There is a lamp beside the bed. This means the lamp is placed next to the bed. Third example of beside. She placed her bag beside the chair. This means the bag is next to the chair. Fourth example of beside. The restaurant is beside the river. This means the restaurant is located next to the river. Fifth example of beside. He sat beside his best friend during the journey. This means he sat next to his friend. Now you can clearly see that in all these examples, beside is used only for physical location or position. It is simple, direct, and easy to understand. Now let us move to the second word, besides. This is where many learners get confused. The word, besides, is completely different from beside. Besides can be used as a preposition and also as an adverb. Its meaning is in addition to or apart from or also. It is not about physical position. It is about extra information, additional ideas, or something more. When you use besides, you are adding something extra to your sentence. You are saying that something is in addition to what you already mentioned. For example, if I say besides English, I also study mathematics. It means in addition to English, I study mathematics too. So besides is used to add extra information. Now let us understand besides in a deeper way. Besides can also mean except or other than. For example, besides me, no one came to the meeting. It means except me, no one came. So besides has two main uses. One is to add information and the other is to show exception. This makes it very useful in daily English conversation. Now let us look at examples of besides so you can understand it clearly in real-life situations. First example of besides. Besides English, she speaks French and German. This means in addition to English, she speaks other languages too. Second example of besides. I have no time to play. Besides, I am very tired. This means also I am very tired in addition to being busy. Third example of besides. Besides my job, I run a small business. This means in addition to my job, I also run a business. Fourth example of besides. There is nothing to worry about besides this small problem. This means except this small problem, there is nothing to worry about. Fifth example of besides. Besides studying, he works part-time at a shop. This means in addition to studying, he also works part-time. Now you can see how different besides is from beside. Beside is about physical position, while besides is about addition or extra information. Let us now go deeper and compare both words in a very simple and clear way so that you never get confused again. Imagine two sentences. Sentence 1. She is sitting beside her friend. This means she is physically next to her friend. Sentence 2. Besides her friend, she invited her cousin. This means in addition to her friend, she invited her cousin. Now you can clearly see the difference. One is location, the other is addition. Many English learners make mistakes because they try to use these words interchangeably. But if you remember one simple rule, you will never be confused again. Beside is for place and position. Besides is for extra information and addition. Now let us explore more natural usage so you can speak like a native English speaker. In daily conversation, beside is often used when talking about people sitting, objects placed, or locations of places. For example, when you are describing your room, you might say the cupboard is beside the window. When you are describing a road, you might say there is a shop beside the mosque. These are very natural uses. On the other hand, besides is often used when you are explaining reasons or adding points in speaking or writing. For example, besides being a student, I also teach English online. Besides this problem, everything is fine. Besides food, we also need water to survive. Now let us practice more deeply with additional explanation. Beside is always concrete. It is something you can see in real life. It shows physical closeness. If you can point to something and say it is next to another thing, you use beside. Besides is abstract. It is not about physical things. It is about ideas, thoughts, actions, or additional information. Let us go further with more examples and explanations. Now I will give you more detailed understanding of beside. Beside is commonly used in these situations. When describing seating arrangement. For example, I sat beside my teacher in the meeting. When describing position of objects. For example, the keys are beside the wallet. When describing location of places. For example, there is a park beside our school. When describing direction or placement. For example, he parked his car beside the road. All these uses show physical closeness. Now let us expand more on besides. Besides is commonly used in these situations. When adding extra information. For example, besides homework, I also have to prepare for exams. When giving additional reasons. For example, I did not go to school, besides I was feeling sick. When showing exception. For example, besides him, everyone agreed with the decision. When expanding ideas. For example, besides reading books, she enjoys writing poems. Now you are slowly building a strong understanding of both words. Let us now do a simple memory trick to help you remember. Think of beside as side. Both words have similar sound and meaning. Beside means something is at your side. So whenever you think of physical side-by-side position, think of beside. Now think of besides as extra s. The extra s stands for something extra, something more, something in addition. So besides means adding something extra. This small trick will help you remember the difference very easily. Now let us practice a few more natural sentences so your brain becomes comfortable with both words. The teacher is standing beside the board. Besides teaching, she also writes books. The dog is sitting beside the door. Besides his studies, he helps his father in business. There is a garden beside our house. Besides this, we have many other problems to solve. Now let us talk about common mistakes learners make. Many students say I sat beside my friend. This is wrong because they are talking about physical position. The correct sentence is I sat beside my friend. Another mistake is saying beside this, I am busy when they actually want to say in addition to this. The correct word in that case is besides. So always remember, if you are talking about place, never use besides. And if you are adding information, never use beside. Let us now build a strong final understanding with a simple summary in natural language. Beside means next to. It shows physical location. It tells where something or someone is placed. Besides means in addition to or except for. It adds extra information or shows exclusion. Both words are small but powerful. They are used very frequently in English conversation, writing, and speaking. If you master them, your English will become much more accurate and professional. Now let us reinforce learning with final example sets. Examples of beside again in simple form. The chair is beside the table. She is standing beside her brother. The hotel is beside the sea. He kept his phone beside the pillow. My friend walked beside me. Now examples of besides again in simple form. Besides English, I also learn science. Besides this job, I do freelancing. Besides her talent, she is very hardworking. Besides studying, he plays cricket. Besides money, time is also important. Now you have seen both words many times in different forms. This repetition helps your mind to absorb the difference deeply. Before we end this lecture, always remember this simple truth. English is not difficult when you understand patterns. Beside and besides are not confusing when you learn their core meaning. One is about position and one is about addition. If you keep practicing these words in daily speaking, you will never forget them again. Thank you for listening to this lesson carefully. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep improving your English every single day.